Hello, this is the Two Dudes and a Podcast. I am Jackson.
I'm Brandon.
And welcome back to the Two Dudes and a Podcast.
Welcome back,
with your two dudes.
Yeah. With two dudes.
Two dudes.
Keck. Doubly Keck, as you like to say sometimes.
Yeah,
And
okay.
other friends of ours.
All right, how you been?
I'm doing pretty good.
You're doing good?
Yeah, mouth sore is doing nice.
Oh, that's...
Yeah.
Okay.
I specifically tried to take care of it as fast as possible for today.
Okay. Thank you for taking care of yourself.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm gonna die because I'm talking anymore.
That's great. That's great. I've had an allergy attack in the past week because the weather decided to change 4 times over the weekend.
I know what that feels like.
Yeah.
It sucks, everybody.
Yeah, Tennessee weather. You don't like it? How about you wait around 10 minutes?
As my dad likes to say sometimes, tough.
Tough?
Yeah.
Like, tough.
He doesn't say that a lot much anymore, but he did when I was younger.
That's funny.
Yeah. In hindsight, it's funny. It wasn't funny then.
Then you were like, oh gosh, I can't control the weather. Now you're like, I'm glad. Do you have allergies? Like when the weather changes a lot? Like in springtime or anything?
My nose imploding? Not really.
Yeah. So, see, for me, when the weather gets all wacky, or like when it gets to springtime, or like, especially when the seasons change, because weather changes. And our winters recently have been all over the place.
Been wild.
It all starts with a sore throat, because I have this allergy medicine, but I get off of it for a while, for long amounts of time, because like, in some seasons, the weather's very constant. And it's like it rains here or there, or it's like chilly here or there, and it doesn't affect me that much. But when the weather's going from like really cold and rainy and like windy to just cold to like warm
when
and sunny
the weather starts
to snowing, my sinuses and stuff just get terrible. And it all starts with a sore throat. I wake up one morning, I'm like, oh God.
The weather has changed.
No.
The weather has changed. Never mind.
For about a week, I have a sore throat, and then comes the nose implosion, where I'm blowing my brains out for like a week on tissues and stuff, and then I start coughing, and then like I take my medicine, and it starts to dial back because I'm like, why am I not taking this? Yeah, so that's been my experience in the week since the first episode.
You've had a much more exciting week than I have. I think.
Great. No, you don't want my kind of exciting week with allergies, you know? You'd rather have just a nice day.
Valentine's Day was this past weekend.
Valentine's Day was fun.
What'd you do?
I took my girlfriend out to dinner and a movie. And at dinner, someone paid for our dinner, actually.
Oh, yeah, you told me about that.
That was very delightful. I didn't know how to react when the waitress told us.
Did
and
you
I was
know
like,
who did it?
Really? No, I don't.
Oh. Wow.
I didn't see anybody I knew or anybody familiar. My mom was like, maybe it's like a thing where like on certain holidays or something, the restaurant's like, all right, waiter or waitress, you get to choose one table and we'll cover the check. And I don't know. And I'm like, maybe, or just maybe some old people were like, oh, they're so cute.
Ah, young love.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And then,
oh boy.
Just found a segue. Good dinner and stuff. And then we went to the movies.
Oh.
My favorite movie theater. Pretty good. Had some junior mints.
What'd you watch?
We went and saw the 1993 Nora Ephron directed Sleepless in Seattle.
Sleepless in Seattle.
Meepless in Seattle?
Yeah.
That's the Phineas and Ferb thing.
Phineas and Ferb. Meep.
Yeah. Nothing like that.
Dang it.
Not as intense. Intense.
Dang.
Sleepless in Seattle is a romantic comedy.
Oh, I've always wanted to make a rom-com.
It's one of the classic ones,
but
in
like
my opinion.
a communist rom-com.
A communist rom-com?
Yes.
I go to steel factory, Olga. I make soup.
I had a title. What was it?
What was it?
I can't remember what it was.
Was it something about a steel factory?
A romantic rom-com or something?
Rom-com.
A romantic... No, wait.
A romantic stroll through communist Russia.
I think it was titled Romantic Comrade.
Romantic Comrade? Okay. Is he in the Red Army at least?
Romantic Comrades? I don't know. I never got past
Or is he a still worker?
I never got past the title, so...
He's like, Olga, I must go to Steel Factory. Production is down. If I don't go, Stalin will have my head.
It's more of a joke between me and my brother.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a place to start.
Sleepless in Seattle has Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan's a big actress from back in the day. I think one of her big movies is When Harry Met Sally, which is another rom-com that was also playing, but we chose Sleepless in Seattle. It was a good movie. I really liked it. It was funny. Tom Hanks is always delightful to see in a movie. I haven't seen him in a bad movie. He's not his usual, like, hamming it up Tom Hanks. He actually has to play a very sad role.
Oh.
Because the kind of plot of the movie is that Tom Hanks has a wife, and she has died. The movie opens up, and Tom Hanks and his son are at his wife's funeral. And to kind of just get away from it, because I lived in Chicago, they moved to Seattle. And Meg Ryan's character is engaged to Bill Pullman. Do you know who Bill Pullman is?
Maybe.
He's the Han Solo type guy from Spaceballs.
Oh, yeah, Lone Star.
Yeah, Lone Star. Yeah, that's him.
Lone Star.
And also the president in Independence Day.
Huh. I didn't know that.
But Bill Pullman is Meg Ryan's fiance. And, like, she is kind of conflicted. Because she's like, this guy is really great. He's a nice guy. But I don't know if I love him enough to, like, marry him. She's like, I don't know if I'm, like, in love with this man. And the Tom Hanks kid calls a radio station. And it's, like, talking about Christmas wishes. And his kid's like, I want my dad, I want a new mom. And he explains that his mom died. And his dad, Tom Hanks, is, like, depressed in this. And, like, it's this whole on-air radio conversation with Tom Hanks about his wife. And a bunch of people listen. And it's Christmas Eve, I think, when this happens. And on the radio show, this, like, call-in is titled Sleepless in Seattle because he can't sleep.
Oh.
Tom Hanks can't sleep.
So that's the name of the radio show.
Not the name of the radio show. It's like the name of that specific event. Like, they have other cases. Like so-and-so in Ohio.
Gotcha.
And Tom Hanks, talks about his wife. And Meg Ryan is on her way to her fiance's parents' house for Christmas Day, and she overhears it. And she's touched by it. And then that's the story from there. Like, basically a bunch of women are like, Tom Hanks is available? Hell yeah. And Meg Ryan's character is going through this back and forth of, oh my God, Bill Pullman is such a great guy. I forgot their names. But, gosh, it was a lovely movie. I teared up, I will admit. I cried once or twice.
Oof. Not
full on. Maybe a tear roll, because there's actually some touching scenes in this. It's a really good movie. It's got some really funny stuff in it.
I've never seen it.
I'm not gonna go full spoilers.
Gotcha.
But, like, explaining this movie is kind of hard without going into some spoilers. Like, and it's also a romantic comedy, so you can kind of try to guess the ending of it. Because romantic comedies have a very specific formula. There's 2 ways you can make the ending go: sad or happy, or bittersweet. But it's usually just sad or happy nowadays.
Yeah.
But this is one of the classics, in my opinion. I think it is. Sure, it's one of the classics. I'll say it's one of the classics. If I get called out, I get called out. But I think this is one of the ones that, like, paved the way for modern day rom-coms.
Yeah. Hey, if Phineas and Ferb referenced it, it's classic.
Okay, yeah. Fair point. Some of the funniest people in this are, like, Tom Hanks' kid in it. It's not actually Tom Hanks' kid, but excuse me. He's 8 years old, and then he starts talking about some stuff. You're like, he's 8. What? And you're just sitting there and laughing. And he does some funny stuff, and he's got, like, a little 8-year-old girlfriend. You know, they're not like dating, but they're friends. It's him and this girl.
That's weird.
There's this one, I noticed an actor in it that I never would have noticed if I wouldn't have watched the DC show Legends of Tomorrow.
Huh.
Do you know about that show?
Yeah.
You know Firestorm in it?
Which one?
The old guy and the kid Jefferson?
Yeah.
Well, the old guy is an actor named Victor Garber, and he's in Sleepless in Seattle.
Whoa.
Like, he's one of the characters. Like Tom Hanks and his deceased wife were friends with this other couple, and he's the husband of that other couple's wife. Yeah. So, and him and Tom Hanks have a really funny scene in it. So yeah, I really liked it. It's touching. It was happy. It was sad. It was very romantic.
It conveyed all of the emotions.
Excuse me.
It conveyed all of the emotions.
It was a really good romantic comedy.
Yeah.
Like, better than the ones they were pooping out in the 2000s, you know?
You ever seen Always Be My Maybe?
No.
Oh, that one's funny.
That one's funny? Is that the one with the one guy?
Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, he cameos in it. The lead actor. He played like a FBI agent in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay, yeah.
I've only watched part of that.
I've seen the clip with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, that's the only part I've seen.
Okay.
I also watched the credits.
The credits.
Yeah.
Is it something to do funny in the credits?
Yeah.
Okay. But Sleepless in Seattle, good movie. I'm about to be controversial. 8.5 out of 10. I just rated it higher than Blade Runner, but I've only seen Blade Runner once.
Did I rate my last movie? I don't think I did.
I don't think you did, but it doesn't matter. This is just what I'm going with.
What was the last movie I watched? What did I watch last week?
You talked about Beast Wars.
Oh yeah, I talked about Beast Wars.
It wasn't a movie. It was a TV show.
I watched the last episode of that season finally.
Season 1?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to it.
Overall season, yeah.
8.5 out of 10 for Sleepless in Seattle. I would recommend it to anyone, honestly. For my good friend Kale, listener of the show, I know how you like father and son relationships in movies. This one's got a really funny one, and I think you'd like it. Good acting, good jokes, fun love story. Cons of the movie. It felt long in the movie theater.
Did it kind of drag on a little?
It didn't drag on. It was just like, you ever be watching a movie and you're just aware of time? You're like, wow, this is long. But I only think it's like an hour.
Huh.
And some, like an hour.
So it's not like Age of Extinction that just drags on?
No. Like,
okay.
You're engaged for most of it. And the beginning is a little slow, I will admit. But sometimes a movie's slow at the beginning because, you know, they got to introduce stuff. Good movie, honestly. Yeah. Everybody turned in a fairly good performance.
Sounds pretty good. When was it released again?
1993.
93.
Yeah. It's a good old movie. Maria was surprised it was rated PG-13, but I was like, well, it was 1993. It's a different type of PG-13.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because they get away with some inappropriate humor. Oof. But it's also really funny. Oof. All right. We both watched a movie in our comm class.
Oh yeah, I liked that movie.
It was pretty interesting movie. The Social Network.
The Social Network. Big Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg? I think you're wrong.
Jesse Hamburg.
Not close.
Mark Eisenberg.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Nah, Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
Plays Mark Zuckerberg.
Mm-hmm.
I forget when this came out.
Luxembourg.
Another Berg. Gosh, we need to find another person who has Berg in their last name, because then we can have the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Are we counting Hamburg?
No, Hamburg's a country, though, right?
It is?
Isn't it?
I think you're thinking of Luxembourg.
I feel like there's a place or town or something called Hamburg.
Probably.
We'll figure it out one day. But it's about the creation of Facebook, and Mark Zuckerberg's kind of like the protagonist, but he's also the antagonist. If you want a true antagonist, it's Justin Timberlake's character, Sean Parker, who created Napster.
Yeah, he kind of like...
Yeah, he's a douchebag. Yeah, he's a real douchebag.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield's in it. He plays, what was it? His name was Eduardo. They called him Wardo. I forgot his last name. But he was kind of like the co-founder of Facebook with Zuckerberg in the movie. He wrote like a equation, was it?
He wrote an algorithm.
Algorithm. Shows you how skilled in science, math.
I love algorithms. I do.
Algorithm.
Al Gore.
But
wait
a second. He writes an algorithm on the window, and like that helps with the creation of Facebook.
With the coding. It's a special algorithm they need to punch in coding and stuff.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
Talks about how it was created for universities, and then it grew bigger, and then...
Can we talk about the dual Army Hammer?
Yeah! Army Hammer was in this movie, and he plays two parts. Twins. He plays twins in this movie. It was weird. It's like two Army Hammers. You're like, oh, that's cool. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
And then they're both like on the rowing team for Harvard. And they're kind of scary because it's two big Army Hammers just looking at you. And they're kind of angry in this movie.
Yeah, he was a good Lone Ranger.
I have not seen that.
It's pretty eh.
But you think he did good?
Yeah, I think the movie overall is pretty okay. I'm a Lone Ranger fan, though. So I think to people who aren't Lone Ranger fans, it's just another Western.
Okay.
Yeah.
Army Hammer, 2 times.
2 times.
Who else was in this?
Twice the Army, double the hammer.
Yeah. Who else was in this? Did
Justin
you notice anybody? Yeah, Big JT.
Yeah.
He played...
Big Branch.
Big Branch.
Yeah, that's who he plays in Trolls.
God. Brenda Song from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody was in this.
Wow.
Yeah, the girl who played London Tipton.
Huh.
Yeah, she was Andrew Garfield's crazy girlfriend. Yeah, she actually was crazy.
Oh, that was London?
Yeah, from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Wow. She was
big glow up.
She was insane.
Yeah, no. Crazy.
Spider-Man bought London a scarf, and then she burned it.
Yeah. And she walked out, and she walked back in.
That doesn't seem completely out of character.
Except this time it was like more intense.
More insanity.
If it was in Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, it would have been an accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good movie. What would you rate it?
I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10.
I'll agree. 9 out of 10.
That's probably the 9 is because of how much I enjoyed it.
It was very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool view on Facebook.
The movie kind of painted Mark Zuckerberg as a...
Mark Zuckerberg was a villain.
He was his own worst enemy.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't...
Like, his biggest problem was not being able to socialize in it.
Yeah.
Like, he just didn't relay his ideas to people.
Yeah, that was his biggest problem.
Mm-hmm. And it got him into some trouble. Now, as to, like, how truthful the movie is, I don't know.
They took some liberties. I think there was one scene where I felt like there was a slight supernatural presence. But I might just be going insane.
Okay.
I can't remember what it was, though.
Was it the chicken?
No.
Because that was, like, both funny and terrible at the same time.
Yeah, it was. I think it had something to do with Army Hammer, but I can't remember anymore.
That's probably just because you saw 2 Army Hammers on screen at the same time, angry.
Angry. And
yeah.
I always thought that the rowing scenes were weird. Like, they're kind of... And we're rowing boats now.
Yeah. But I guess that's who those characters were.
Yeah.
So that's how they would, like, show, hey, we're on these characters now.
I didn't think they were bad. I just thought they were weird.
A little bit, yeah. I can see that.
It's like, now we're rowing boats. What does that have to do with Facebook?
Well, every time it showed them rowing boats, something was going on with Facebook. So.
True.
In the end, I guess it all pays off, comes together.
It was pretty good, though.
It was.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. 9 out of 10?
Yeah, 9 out of 10 from me.
I can agree with that. What you been watching?
What have I been watching?
Social Network and Com Class.
I think I watched this Monday or Tuesday, but I watched Michael Bay's new 6 Underground.
Netflix?
On Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was an interesting movie. The beginning of it was this car chase scene where it introduces all the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good car chase. I thought it was
Per Michael Bay's,
Yeah, it was pretty good car chase. There was one scene where like a car flips over, hits two more cars, and then there's explosions everywhere.
Oh, that makes sense.
It looked like Berserker should be running through, but Berserker doesn't exist. He's a Transformer, by the way.
Yeah.
Looks like a Transformer should be running through, but there are no Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Reynolds is in it. He's pretty much the main character.
Does he do his whole Ryan Reynolds action hero shtick?
Maybe.
Or is he funny or is he intense?
Both.
He's doing his Ryan Reynolds action hero shtick.
Because about halfway through the movie, I checked out for a little bit.
Oh.
Because, it's a Michael Bay movie, so the beginning of it is going to be fun and action-packed, and then the middle of it...
And then there's a bunch of crappy plot.
Yeah.
Basically, the in-between segments of Michael Bay movies, like, some of them are just crappy plot that gets you to the next action scene.
Yeah, it has good moments. There is one... The whole idea, the six underground idea is that it's these six people who have buried their lives, their personal lives, so they can become special operatives under the radar that nobody knows exist.
Okay.
But basically, they're ghosts. So
Gotcha.
they all fake their death one way or another. And like Ryan Reynolds is one. They all just go by names. And he used to be a billionaire, or he is a billionaire and stuff. They all have different backgrounds.
Okay.
Like there was 1 through 6 dies at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, lovely. So now it's 5 underground.
Yeah, so they have to
Or do they get a new member?
They get a new member.
Oh.
He's known as 7 because I don't really know why he's called 7. I might have missed that part.
Probably just
to respect 6.
Yeah.
6 was a driver. He got impaled. Wash style. And there was a doctor. There was a dude. Which one is it? I think it was number
3.
4 or 5.
I was one off.
I can never remember, but he's basically parkour to the extreme. And they all had
YouTube parkour compilation?
kind of, they had subtitles. It was like 1 billionaire, 6 was the driver, and then whatever the parkour dude was, his number, he was Skywalker.
Okay, reference.
He was the Skywalker, maybe, I don't know. I thought it was funny coming off of Rise of Skywalker, because now everybody can be Skywalkers.
True.
If they want to.
True. As long as the Force Ghosts appear.
Yeah.
Get back to the point.
Where was I going with that?
You're talking about the movie.
Oh, yeah, 6 dies at the beginning of the movie because he gets impaled. So they have to find another one, so they get 7 who's
Is that the whole point of the movie?
No, they get him pretty fast.
Okay.
But he's a sniper.
Okay.
So
he can shoot guns really far.
Yeah, he can shoot bullets really far. And then I think soon after they get him, they have to do something which leads to an action scene.
Mm-hmm.
See, I can't remember a whole lot of this movie.
Because it's not a good movie?
Yeah, it's a typical Michael Bay movie. It's pretty boring after the beginning car chase scene.
Until the next action scene happens?
Even then, it still didn't...
So is the only good action scene the beginning?
I'm not done yet.
Oh.
It still didn't quite capture me in the middle of it. But there is a point where they have to... It's right after they get the sniper dude and they're in this apartment that has water above it and all the water pours out and stuff. That was kind of cool, where the sniper dude breaks the water out of the glass and it floods the building or the apartment. So the other guys have to get out, but the Skywalker dude gets left behind. And Ryan Reynolds wants to leave him because the mission's more important. But then the sniper dude is like, no. We have to be a family if we want to survive at all.
Okay.
When Ryan Reynolds' whole idea is that we're not a family, we're just people doing a job.
We just doing it.
We're just doing it. But the number 7 dude wants to knit the team together more.
Gotcha.
Which, thinking back on it, I don't really know why he wants to do that. Which is one of the problems with Michael Bay movies. Mm-hmm. The characters have good intentions, but you don't know why they have good intentions.
Okay. So it's like motivation, but it's like, I don't know why.
Yeah, it's like I can kind of see why you would want to do that, but I don't know why this character.
They have a plan, but you don't know why they have a plan.
Yeah.
It's just kind of there.
Yeah, and then after they save the Skywalker dude, I checked out again after that.
Until the next action scene?
No, not even then. But the last thing I remember is the end of it, where they finally overthrow the dictator.
Oh.
And stuff. Where they start to, when they start to overthrow the dictator, that's when it gets interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So their purpose is like destabilizing a country or something?
That's their purpose. That's their mission of that movie.
Okay. Is there another one coming?
No, I don't know. I mean, like, at the beginning of it, their goal was to get into some bank account or something.
Okay.
To do something. I don't remember. It was a Michael Bay movie.
It's a Michael Bay movie. I don't remember.
It did have
and
a
honestly,
good
I don't
soundtrack,
care.
though. It used a couple Muse songs.
Michael Bay always has typically good soundtracks.
It used some Muse songs. And I've been listening to a lot of Muse recently. So I think it used Dig Down and Uprising. I can't remember.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
The Transformers movies were absolute, dog poop.
Yeah.
But Steve Jablonsky
continues to impress me.
Yeah,
even though
he does some
like
good
those
scores.
Movies. His scores are great.
Yeah.
Linkin Park, I've never been a big fan of.
Because of the movies?
Yeah, kind of.
Linkin Park, I think if you listen to their songs, like they have some bops.
Mm-hmm. The one they used for the first one, What I've Done, isn't terrible. It just reminds me of Transformers that I don't like.
Yeah, I like that song. So.
Yeah. I think that's all I have to say about Six Underground.
What would you rate it?
Probably a 7.
Really? That high?
Maybe a 6. I don't know. I kind of enjoyed it. The beginning and the end of it. And the smack middle of it. So 6 or 7, I'd say.
Okay.
I think it was better than Transformers.
Cool.
It made more sense than the Transformers movies. And at least it wasn't
that's not
like...
hard.
Yeah, at least it wasn't like... It wasn't titled Six Underground, and it was about something entirely different.
Yeah.
It wasn't named like Transformers, and it focuses on the human characters more.
Okay. So, an above average Michael Bay movie?
Kind of. I know Rotten Tomatoes is pretty much the lowest of the low sometimes.
Yeah.
But their consensus on it I agreed with, is that it was fast paced, loud, and action packed, which is good or bad depending on how much you like Michael Bay.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I thought about
Sometimes Rotten Tomatoes is like, you disagree with them, but sometimes
they hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Like, I thought they did that with Bumblebee and Six Underground here. It's like, it's not really much to sneeze at or praise. It's a Michael Bay movie. If you like Michael Bay movies, you'll probably like this movie.
Okay.
It's just, that was my ultimate consensus 6 minutes into the movie. It's a Michael Bay movie.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
That all you got to say on Six Underground?
Six Underground, yeah.
What other movie did you watch? Tell me you watched another.
I think the next day I watched The Other Guys.
Yeah.
Which is a buddy cop movie.
Yeah. It's a comedy, right?
Yeah, comedy. I've been wanting to watch a bunch of buddy cop movies.
Okay.
I hit a buddy cop movie kick last year, but I couldn't find any of them on Netflix or Amazon to watch. But then a bunch of them have come to Netflix recently. They've come to Netflix recently.
Yeah.
So Bad Boys is also on there. I plan to watch that.
Bad Boys 2?
It's also on there.
Okay, cool. I can catch up and go see the new one.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I wanted to see Hobbs and Shaw, but I didn't get to see that.
It'll be on a streaming service someday.
Yeah, eventually. The Other Guys was pretty good, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I actually ended up not liking it as much as I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know why. It was just kind of a movie.
It was just kind of a movie?
It was just kind of there.
I know Mark Wahlberg is in this movie.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell are actually a really good...
chemistry?
Duo, yeah. Chemistry, duo, whatever you want to say. But the movie was extremely
weird. They play off each other well?
They do, yeah.
I think it's more of a comedy, though, right?
It is a comedy.
Okay.
I would have liked to see it be a little bit more of an action movie. That would have been funny.
If you want a cop movie with Mark Wahlberg in it, that's a little more serious. The Departed by Martin Scorsese. It's a Martin Scorsese movie, so it's like a very hard R-rated movie. But it's the only Scorsese movie I've seen, so it's my favorite. But really good movie. That's like top 10 movie. Top 10 movies, yeah. The Departed.
Top 10 movies.
I think it's on Netflix. So.
Oh no. The Other Guys it had Samuel L. Jackson and The Rock in it.
Okay.
And they were like, big hotshot cops at the beginning of the movie.
They were the cool guys.
But then they jump off a building.
Oh. Fun.
Yeah. So
what's like the general plot of the movie?
general plot of the movie is you've got cops, and then you've got Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, which have been reduced to desk cops.
Okay,
They do paperwork,
desk jockeys.
pretty much. Yeah, Mark Wahlberg wants to be out in the field.
He wants to be like Samuel L. Jackson in The Rock.
He wants to be like Samuel L. Jackson in The Rock. And Will Ferrell is perfectly fine doing his accountant work for the police department.
Okay.
But then they figure out that there's been a banking scandal.
Ooh.
Or something. Will Ferrell figured this out, and Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell decide that they need to try and do something about this.
Ooh.
But their captain, Michael Keaton, is like,
Ooh,
no.
Michael Keaton's in this?
Michael Keaton's in it, yeah.
I like Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, you should stop. And Will Ferrell's character is extremely gullible
Mm-hmm.
to the point that he shoots his gun in the police department. It's called a desk pop.
A desk pop.
Yeah, it's where you shoot your gun underneath the desk.
Okay.
You're not supposed to do that. He's given a wooden gun after that.
Lovely.
Yeah. Basically, the whole idea is that Mark Wahlberg wants to be a cop like Samuel L. Jackson, but he's so caught up in that he doesn't know how to be a real cop.
Okay.
And then when Will Ferrell's character pretty much goes from being this non-cop to dealing with his past to becoming an actual cop.
And they become the other guys.
Mm-hmm. They become the other guys. But I'm not going to tell you Will Ferrell's backstory because that's something you got to figure out on your own.
That's something you got to watch the movie.
You got to
do.
watch. But it's extremely not what you expect.
Okay.
Not at all what you expect.
Well, it's Will Ferrell, so who knows?
Who knows? Well, Mark Wahlberg's they both have backstories in this movie.
That you don't expect?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. They're pretty funny. Mark Wahlberg's character got kind of annoying sometimes.
All right.
But other than that, it's pretty good.
Cool.
Yep. I'd give that one probably 7 or 8.
So, same level as Six Underground? Like, level of enjoyment?
No, I actually watched most of this movie.
You paid attention?
Yeah, I paid attention.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. The credits of it were extremely interesting because it goes through a bunch of economical statistics and stuff. Yeah. I actually sat there and watched half of the credits.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Credits. Also, PowerPoint.
Yeah. It was a good PowerPoint, too.
You learned something from that movie.
I don't remember anything, but yeah.
All right.
Wait, I do remember that the wage rate between CEO and employee has pretty much done that.
Well, our audience can't see that.
Oh, shoot. The employee has stayed the same, and the CEO has done nothing but go up.
So, like, tripled,
More than that.
quadrupled,
Yeah.
big
And that
gap.
was starting in, like, the 1800s. The Industrial Revolution. And it
Yeah.
just started going up.
Dang it, Rockefeller.
Ugh. See, I also watched the last episode of Beast Wars.
Season 1?
Season 1.
Mhm.
Overall, I'd give that first season 8 or 9
Okay.
out of 10.
Big enjoyment.
Pretty good. Yeah, the season kind of just stops.
Really?
Yeah. Like, it ends on a cliffhanger.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you what that cliffhanger
Bold
is, though.
show.
It is
for ending on a
bold show.
cliffhanger
It
in its
is.
first season.
It's extremely bold. Everything about Beast Wars is bold.
There's one or two things that can happen if a first season ends on a cliffhanger. Disaster or great things.
When it comes to Beast Wars, what I've heard of the second season came to great things.
Same thing happened with a little show called Arrow.
Oh, yeah.
The first season ends on a cliffhanger. And then the second season, even better than the first.
Should we discuss rewatches
Rewatches?
on movies?
Yeah, you rewatched a movie for the
rewatched
first time
a
in a long
movie.
time.
Yeah. Should we start with the movie, or do you want to bring up the new rewatch rule?
The rewatch rule?
Yeah, where like if you don't remember the last
so we
time-
kind of made up rules for the like what we've been watching recently, like what content have we been doing recently. It's got to be something that we haven't like read or watched or listened to before ever basically.
or
Or if you rewatch something that like you can't remember the last time you rewatch it, like if you can recollect rewatching it in the past like year or two, don't rewatch it because
Yeah,
it's fresh in your mind. and whatnot. And it's kind of like, oh, that's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't watch something new. But
Like this week, I rewatched the animated movie Robots.
Blue Sky Studios.
Blue Sky
animation?
Studios, yeah. And I can't remember the last time I watched that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And
Starring Ian McGregor and
Ian
Robin
McGregor,
Williams.
Robin Williams, Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks is also in it.
Amanda Bynes.
Yeah.
Back when she was a thing.
Yeah. I don't remember who she played.
She played Piper.
Oh, yeah.
Why do I remember that?
Robots.
I remember Rodney Copperbottom.
Yeah, Robots.
Fender?
Yeah.
That's Robin Williams' character.
I know this town like the back of my hand. Oh, I don't remember that being there. And then he gets smacked by a giant hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, good old Robin Williams. Yeah, I don't remember the last time I watched that movie. It was years ago.
It's a great...
And it's one of those movies that you kind of forget about until for some reason it just pops up in your head at 3 in the morning.
It's this just random animated movie in this weird, kooky world. It's a children's movie, so of course it's a weird, kooky world.
People need to talk about it more because it has some seriously powerful stuff in it, I think, that has to do with today. Yeah, because the whole idea is that Rodney Copperbottom wants to be an inventor. And he grew up watching the Big Weld show where you can shine no matter what you're made of, is what his motto is. There's also Big Weld has two big mottos: is you can shine no matter what you're made of, and if you see a need, fill a need for aspiring inventors. So that's what Rodney does. He invents a little robot that can help his dad wash the dishes.
Yeah.
And when he's older, he wants to take that to go see Big Weld and see if he can get his invention approved by Big Weld. But when he gets to Robot City, it turns
Big Weld
out
ain't there.
Big Weld's not there.
It's Ratchet.
Not the Autobot medic.
Definitely not the Autobot medic.
Completely different Ratchet. But he's all about upgrades. Upgrades, people.
Looking shiny.
If you can't afford to look shiny, then you're a piece of trash and deserve to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Rodney figures this out, and
the ironic part is Ratchet's mom is not big and shiny.
Yeah.
Is it his mom or dad?
It's his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Irony.
Villains
always have it.
And, so Rodney decides that he has to find Big Weld, and he finds Big Weld, and it's basically The Last Jedi all over again, but infinitely times better.
Okay.
It's like, they find the hero that they've been looking for, but he's been broken down on his morals, and he doesn't want to come back. But Big Weld pretty much aged out. That when he was the head of Big Weld, the Big Weld company, he was there to help people. Ratchet's there to make money off of people. That's all he wants to do is make money and be the most powerful dude. And Big Weld decided that the idea to help people has gone out of style. That's no longer fashionable. Make money or leave. And Rodney decides that the desire to help people cannot go out of style.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is. And before they leave Big Weld, Rodney says that he's disappointed because all he wanted to be when he was growing up was Big Weld.
Yeah.
And then that changes Big Weld's heart, and eventually he comes back and he tells Rodney that he's decided that when Big Weld grows up, he wants to be just like Rodney. Yeah. So what I took away from the movie is that the desire to help people for the sake of helping people cannot go out of style. It can't afford to go out of style.
That's a pretty good moral for a children's movie.
Exactly. And now we get stuff like Teen Titans Go.
That's just goofy.
Yeah.
But Robots is also goofy.
But you can be
Robots
goofy.
is a weird where you get stuff like caca, caca, caca. Oh, yeah.
Rip Robin Williams. Absolute legend.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think people need to talk about robots more.
Rewatch Robots, people.
Rewatch Robots. Just do it.
If not for the morals, for the name Rodney Copperbottom.
Ewan McGregor. All he needed to do was jump down behind Big Weld and go, hello there.
And then Big Weld springs a couple arms.
General Copperbottom.
General Copperbottom. What the heck? Oh.
on the beginning of it where Rodney is born.
At the end of it, the Avengers assemble, right?
Yeah,
Am I right?
yeah.
You know what I was saying a couple weeks ago.
They get really close.
We
to doing
talked
the
about
spinning
this
thing.
movie like a week ago,
Yeah,
right?
we did.
Was
Or
it when
something.
we recorded the first podcast?
No, it wasn't. I think I watched. No, it wasn't. It was a few days ago.
Okay. It was like
Yeah.
a few days before.
Yeah, a few days after with the first episode. First few days ago. So like 2 days ago from today. Man, I was going somewhere. Oh, the beginning of it where Rodney is born. That's a wild scene watching it when you're 18.
Yeah, I know. I think
That's a wild
it's
scene.
Funny.
It's like you missed the delivery, but making the baby's the fun part. Mwah! Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Robots is a movie.
Oh, it's a good movie though. Unfortunately,
It's a meme too.
Unfortunately, it suffers from the same downside that I think a lot of animated movies suffer from.
What is that?
Is the first and second act are pretty well fleshed out,
Mm-hmm.
but then the third act is a little rushed.
They're trying to wrap things up.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
Like they're like, okay, we're a 90-minute children's film. We got to wrap things up.
And like I think it wrapped up well, but it was still a little rushed. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It can be rushed and still be good. But it like
One of my favorite parts is when Fender
Mm-hmm.
is like fighting a bunch of people, and then "Hit Me Baby One More Time" comes on by Britney Spears, and he just goes killer on him.
Yeah. Very Genie-esque.
Yeah, I know.
Is Robin Williams, what were you expecting?
I don't know, but the Avengers assembling at the end of that, the robot Avengers, that's like
They
that was
almost did the spin
groundbreaking
thing.
in cinema. That was a groundbreaking. I think robots paved the way for Avengers to happen.
The very end of it where he gives his dad the trumpet and stuff.
And they start playing, "Get up off of that thing."
Yeah,
I told you. Yeah, it's a good song too.
it's a good song. I downloaded that and been listening to it
Good
all
song.
week. It's a good song. What was it? Oh, my favorite line in the movie is where the one dude is like, "Well, there goes our happy ending," and then Fender's like, "Nah, man, it's a fusion of jazz and funk. It's called junk." It's called junk.
I can see that scene in my head. I watched that movie a lot as a kid.
Oh, it's such a good movie.
I think I had the soundtrack for it too.
Wow, soundtrack was pretty baller.
Yeah.
I didn't remember the soundtrack being so good, but it was good.
Yeah.
The Blue Man Group was apparently also related to the movie.
Blue Man Group?
Yeah, the Blue Man Group.
Like the dudes who paint themselves blue and play music?
And then they beat on things.
How are they related to the movie?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Another tidbit though about robots
Tidbit.
is that I've kind of thought up this whole Transformers timeline
Yeah.
in my head, and
No, you've put this in the timeline, haven't
hang
you?
on, I've put a lot of thought into culture and how things work on Cybertron, and part of my theories come from this movie.
Oh no.
I can't remember exactly what, but it has to do with
Big Weld.
no, I've totally forgotten what my
Robot
connection
City?
was. Maybe totally forgot what my connection was. Was it reproduction? I can't even remember.
They build babies.
They don't build them, but I think it's from robots that I came up with the idea of asexual reproduction, or I decided on that. I don't know.
Well, the Transformers are robots, so I think it's just kind of implied.
Yeah, unless if you're, yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Robots. Let's
maybe
not talk about robot reproduction. That's a topic for smarter
probably-
people than us.
I'll probably think about what my inspiration was in a couple minutes, but
Robots. Blue Sky Studios animation.
Blue Sky
Starring
I
Em
don't-
McGregor,
I don't think
Robin
I've
Williams, and Amanda Bynes.
yeah.
And who else was it?
Mel Brooks.
Mel
as
Brooks.
Big Weld.
Oh, he was Big Weld?
He was Big Weld.
Big Weld.
Big Weld. And I've heard that he did method acting. So, like, he came to the studio as Big Weld. And
he
left.
came to the studio as an actual robot shaped like a ball.
Yeah. Only Mel Brooks could pull that off. You know, he was also yogurt.
Yeah.
Spaceball is the flamethrower. Very popular with the kids. I need to rewatch that.
All right. He was a method actor, and he went to the studio.
As Big Weld.
Uh-huh.
And then he left as Big Weld. Maybe.
I bet that was fun at home. Mm-hmm. Did he surf on giant dominoes at home, too?
Probably. That scene was weird.
Yeah, I know.
That movie was kind of a fever
I told
dream.
you, this movie's weird.
I saw something on was it Instagram? I can't remember, but they were saying the movie was pretty much a fever dream.
It is.
It was wild.
A lot of children's movies were back then too. Aunt Fanny.
Yeah, she's got a lot of trunk.
Yeah. I think she was built with all trunk. The body came later.
Yeah, a little artsy fartsy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the lamppost dies.
Who dies?
The lamppost. Yeah, because him and
Oh,
Rodney
yeah!
and Fender are like doing a competition with their armpit farts, and then Piper gets in on it, and then the dude with the wheels gets in on it.
Yeah, and then Aunt Fanny
rips
just
a fat one.
Yeah.
Like an actual one.
Oh, yeah. And then, like, the next day, there's an outline
And then
of the lamppost.
like suffocates to death. He's like, lady, see a doctor.
Yeah, I forgot about that. This movie's brutal.
This movie's insane.
This movie has a body count.
It's insane. Surfing on dominoes and then
Caca.
yeah, caca, and then
The Avengers assemble in a junkyard.
Fender gets a date and everything. It was wild.
Yeah, no.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great
It's a great
Oh
animated
gosh,
movie.
it's choking me up.
Is that all the media we've consumed?
I guess so.
I haven't read anything new.
Have you continued Charles Dexter Ward?
I've put that on hold right now to read the piano lesson for our theater class. It's one of the papers I got to write. The character analysis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for the reminder.
Do Thursday.
I'll think about that.
You probably should.
Yeah. All right. Something happened this past week. Like the day we uploaded the podcast.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. That's one of the downsides of pre-recording.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mr. Matt Reeves, who's directing a little film that comes out next year called The Batman.
The Batman.
He
Sorry for the chair pop.
Yeah.
It does that.
It happens. These chairs aren't exactly, podcast friendly, but we're working with what we got here. But Matt Reeves dropped a little look at a big Robert Pattinson, also known as Battinson, in the actual bat suit. Not a full look, but it's kind of like a chest up. You don't see the ears.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I hope they're like in between small and long,
I hope they're like not crazy long, but I hope they're not as short as Ben Affleck's.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck was good, but I felt like his ears were a little short.
Yeah, his ears were almost non-existent.
Yeah. Same thing with the bat symbol. His ears were like non-existent.
Yeah.
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 I love the bat symbol Pattinson's got.
Yeah.
I love that symbol.
It's I think it's an homage to the first Batman outfit because the first Batman outfit didn't have the ears on it.
Yeah, back
the
in the 30s.
ears on the bat symbol on the chest. I've heard some rumors and stuff. Let's talk about the actual video first.
Okay.
You hear some really cool music.
The Imperial March.
Really? Is that what it sounds like to you?
Yeah.
Like a slowed down version?
No, it's like the first two beats over and over again. First two notes.
I'm going to have to rewatch that and listen to that.
I follow this YouTuber who did a whole medley of the Imperial March, and he threw in Batman themes, and it was epic.
Okay.
So I don't know why Darth Vader and Batman would be in one song together.
They both wear black.
No
Costume changes. But yeah, cool music.
Red
it was in
filter.
red lighting, which is like, okay. Some people have theorized that the bat symbol is made out of gun parts.
Possibly of the gun that killed his parents.
Yeah.
Which, if anybody could find that gun, it's Batman.
Yeah, which that's actually a precedent, like in canon. Kevin Smith wrote a story in Detective Comics 1000 where he melts the gun down and makes it a chess piece.
Oh, that's a recent thing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I thought that was
my favorite story in Detective Comics 1000. So if they take that from book to screen, that's going to be really cool.
That's pretty cool.
I've also seen some rumors that the inside of his gloves, where his like palms and stuff are going to be purple.
Yeah, I've heard.
Throwback to that first Batman outfit.
I've heard rumors that his cape might be navy blue and his armor will be a grayish color.
I've heard that, but I've also heard that it's dark gray and black.
Yeah.
Which, it'd be cool to have gray and navy blue, but I feel like dark gray and black is what they're going to go with. But I also feel like...
do both.
Excuse me. I also feel like this maybe won't be the only suit he wears in the movie.
Yeah. And we're not even sure if this is a final suit. This could just be test.
It's a screen test.
It's a screen test.
Things can change. But the suit looks cool. It gives me Arkham vibes.
Yeah, it does.
Specifically Arkham Knight because of the chest plate and the way it's made.
Yeah.
The
cowl looks a little rough.
The cowl is hand stitched, actually.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Because I think this is going to be like the first, maybe not the first bat suit, but like his first bat suit that he ever went out in, but upgraded a lot. Like he's just added on to it, like thrown more stuff. Like this, I think he's supposed to be in his like second year.
Yeah.
It's second or third year.
A couple years.
I've heard rumors, like all kinds of stuff. Like he's only taken on crime families, and the only real like supervillain he's taken on is Joker. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And like, ooh, this movie, we don't know anything about the plot except it's Batman. It's gonna have a rogues gallery of villains.
A detective noir.
I've heard that.
I've heard that
there's going to be an action set piece set in Arkham Asylum.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to
which, what if that's like a whole Scarecrow set piece? But they said the only person he's taken on is Joker. But still, what if Scarecrow shows up and like it's a whole hallucination action set piece?
Yeah.
But it also could be a breakout, and that could be what the second movie's about.
They break out.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Or like, you know, they break out in the first one, and then like the second one takes place a couple years after that, and he's rounding up the last couple of ones, and that's the inciting incident for this second Robert Pattinson Batman movie.
Maybe. You think it could open with the Arkham scene?
I don't think it's going to open with the Arkham scene. I think it's either going to open. If Matt Reeves is smart, he's gonna he should homage the opening of the animated series. The opening intro.
I'd be down for that.
With and he takes out like just a couple of people who are robbing a store, and he stands on top of a building,
lightning,
and the cape's flapping, and then boom, just title card, the Batman.
We need to come back to the animated series.
Okay,
in a few minutes.
Come back to it.
Yeah, come back to it. But
okay,
what was it? The detective noir.
Yeah.
Detective noir feel.
That's gonna be cool.
I'm looking forward to that because I feel like we don't get to see enough detective Batman.
No, we don't.
We don't.
The most detective Batman I think we've seen is him on a computer. And he was on a computer in some of the DCEU stuff.
Last time I remember really seeing it was Batman Forever.
Me was the Nolan trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
He does some research. He also like lets some people do some other research. But in The Dark Knight, he's doing ballistics testing. And I think that's the most like detective work he does.
Yeah.
But it was really cool.
Yeah.
And if they like expand on that, he's got gadgets like in the Arkham games. I've also heard that his batarangs are like smaller versions of that bat symbol. And it's like, if so, that's really cool.
What else? There's something. Oh, it's what Robert Pattinson said about his Batman.
What did he say?
It's similar to what Christopher Reeve said about his Superman back in the 70s.
Okay.
Christopher Reeve said that when he was Superman, he downplayed being a hero and he upplayed being a friend. Which is how Superman Heroes is. He's supposed to represent the idea of you can walk to your next door neighbor and borrow a cup of sugar. That's Superman. Robert Pattinson has said that he's downplaying being a hero for Batman and he's upplaying being a detective.
So
that's how Batman Heroes.
That's how Batman is a hero.
That's exactly.
He does his detective
He's
work.
the world's greatest detective.
Yeah.
He premiered and he debuted
Detective Comics.
Yeah, exactly. So I've always liked Detective Batman more, which is
well, Detective Batman. Even if you have Detective Batman, he's not strictly a detective.
Exactly. Still.
He's also like one of the world's best fighters.
Yeah, he knows like
he uses his detective skills to go and beat up people.
Yeah, like he doesn't always have to beat up people.
No, he's also smart.
Exactly.
He can also just rip the floor out from beneath you, and then boom, you're in a cop car.
That's probably why I like the '89 movie the best.
I think that's why I think my favorite action scene in a Batman movie is in. Okay, if it's fighting wise, it's Batman versus Superman. Because that warehouse scene, he's doing some really cool like Arkham moves.
You want to know what my favorite Batman fight scene is?
What?
It's the beginning of the Lego Batman movie.
That one's ridiculous, but I
I
don't blame
love
you.
the Lego Batman.
The Lego Batman movie is
It's my second favorite.
national
Batman
treasure.
is my second favorite Batman movie.
It's really good.
My
And
third favorite.
If you don't just look at it as a stupid Lego Batman movie, it has a purpose and it has a moral.
It's beautiful.
But The Dark Knight, when he takes out the SWAT team that's like about to kill civilians, that's a good scene because he doesn't just beat up the SWAT team. He's taking them out, but he's all hooking them together. That way he can sling them out and they're all just hanging off the side of the
That's
building.
a very Batman
and it's
thing
like,
to do.
That's a very Batman thing to do.
I know the 89 movie doesn't have a lot of amazing action sequences.
I think it's more just Michael Keaton going, I'm Batman.
Yeah,
and like scaring people, which that's another element of it. He scares people.
Exactly. And I feel like he does do more detective stuff.
Especially in his early years, he scares people.
Yeah. Would you say Michael Keaton's Batman does a little more detective work?
I have not seen the 89 Batman movie all the way through.
Oh. Well, I know Joker has this thing with Smilex. He puts it in beauty products and stuff, and it's basically laughing gas.
Joker gas.
Joker chemicals and stuff. They laugh themselves to death.
Yeah.
Stuff. And so Batman has to figure out why they're all laughing themselves to death. And so there's a scene where you see him at the back computer and he's putting samples and he's putting pieces together and everything.
Okay.
So I don't think he goes out and does any field detective work, but he collects samples and he puts the pieces together, and I think he takes it to somebody.
Well, Tim Burton's like 89 Michael Keaton Batman is some people's favorite Batman for a reason. So
Me included.
Yeah, it's your favorite Batman?
My favorite Batman movie, at least.
Okay.
My favorite Batman is probably going to be Kevin Conroy's, which takes heavy inspiration from Tim Burton's Michael Keaton.
Yeah, it's like a perfect mixing of the Keaton aesthetic with the Batman from the comics.
And Adam West.
And Adam West,
A little bit of Adam West is thrown in there.
Yeah.
Sometimes Adam West himself.
The animated universe Batman is one of the best interpretations of Batman.
Love the animated
because
series.
he's got a lot of depth that I think some of the movie ones lack.
Yeah. It's wild when you watch some of the animated series episodes. They do more character growth and development.
And since that animated series, it's like, it's not just Batman. You have Superman, the animated series. You have Justice League, and you have Justice League Unlimited, and you have Batman Beyond. And it's like, throughout a lot of that, you get to see Bruce's darkness.
Development.
Yeah. You get to see his light sides.
The part with Ace. The girl from the...
Yeah, and Justice League Unlimited. That's one of my favorite episodes because it shows what I believe to be
Batman.
The part that Bruce Wayne lost a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it comes back.
Have you ever seen the episode with the Grey Ghost?
No, I have not.
The Grey Ghost was
He's played by Adam West, right?
He's Adam West.
It's kind of based off of Adam West, right?
Kind of.
The Grey Ghost?
It's more like Zorro.
Well, I mean, like the actual Grey Ghost, like the guy who played him.
Yeah, I guess. But the Grey Ghost was a TV show Bruce grew up watching.
Is that what he left the theater with his parents from?
No, that was still Zorro. But once again, the Grey Ghost is still something that inspires him to put on the mask.
Okay.
Because the Grey Ghost did it.
Yeah.
Where else was I going?
You said to talk about the animated series. Are we talking about that point?
Kind of. Not really. I was going to list off my top 3 Batman movies. But I don't know if I should.
I don't know. Do you want to talk about the Batsuit again?
The Batsuit? Maybe.
Do you think it's going to be the only Batsuit for this movie?
I don't think it's going to be the only one.
Do you think he'll get like an upgraded, more like one with the ears? Maybe even an oval emblem with yellow?
I'd like to see just the same one he's got right now.
Okay.
But if they did the oval, I wouldn't complain.
I'd like to see like the one he's got right now, but with the bat ears on it.
I'm not against that.
Yeah. I think that's the only thing I'd like. What you think about it? What you were gonna
I found it.
say?
Comicbook.com posted this.
Okay, comicbook.com.
I don't know if you heard it, but Batman the Animated Series returns as a comic with Paul Dini.
Yeah, it's like a continuation.
Yeah. So that'll be cool.
They had a Batman animated series comic book run, and that's canon inside the animated universe.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill is going to be Skeletor.
Yeah, Mark Hamill's going to be
Masters
Skeletor
of
in
the
the new He-Man.
Universe Revelation.
Yeah.
That's going to be cool.
I'm not a Masters of the Universe guy. I've never heard of it. Well, I've heard of it. I've heard of He-Man and stuff,
Yeah.
but
I know. My brother is really big into Masters of the Universe.
So he's excited.
He's excited. I'm excited. I love Masters of the Universe.
Okay.
I'm all about these 80s cartoons and their toys.
80s cartoons.
And their toys. Like, I reconstructed a bunch of He-Man figures this past summer, I think.
Okay.
That was extremely painful.
Speaking of He-Man figures, we're recording this on a Thursday, but it's being uploaded on a Friday, released on a Friday. Toy Fair starts today.
Fair. Oh, segues.
Segways.
Toy Fair. I've got a countdown on my Transformers page. We've got about a day and a couple hours.
Yeah.
Because I said it for Saturday, which is where things
We've
really
already
start
got some pre-reveals.
Oh, yeah. Which ones do you want to do first?
I'll let you take those Transformers pre-reveals.
Take the Transformers pre-reveals?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, today I got home from school and stuff. If I can get my Instagram to work. I saved all of these posts that I found. But we were shown today by Comic Book. No, it was IGN. IGN revealed this stuff. And they revealed shots of Commander Class Skylynx, Scorponok, which is Titan Class, Deluxe Class RC, and Deluxe Class Fast Track. That's all we saw.
Gotcha.
And Fast Track, I'm pretty sure, is supposed to be another weaponizer figure. Like, basically what weaponizers are is you can take them apart and put them on other figures. They're pretty much made out of 5mm ports and pegs and stuff.
Okay.
So, like, I have a Brunt who's supposed to go with Trypticon. He's a weaponizer, and you can take his arms off. And you can stick his arm in Ironhide's hand.
Okay.
And stuff. And Brunt turns into a cannon, so you can take his legs off and they transform and stick together and become a cannon.
Gotcha.
And stuff. That's what weaponizers do.
Haha, gimmicks.
Yeah, gimmicks. But it's not a bad gimmick. It's a good one.
Okay.
Only problem is that they could become loose and fall apart easily. Yeah. Thankfully, Brunt hasn't done that yet.
Okay.
If ever. RC looks pretty good. Unfortunately, she does a whole parts forming thing where the back of her car comes off to transform. So that's kind of disappointing. But she's always had a really skinny design, hard to make transform.
Yeah.
Yeah. The car form looks nice.
Nice pink and white car.
Nice pink and white car. I like pink RC more than blue RC. Because if she's blue, she's just Chromia.
RC is supposed to be pink.
I think it defines her more from Chromia.
Okay.
Something like Prime RC reminds me more of Chromia than she does RC.
Okay.
Which I don't dislike that. But
well, RC was also the only like motorcycle person. You didn't have like 3 motorcycles.
Actually, RC was originally a car. Chromia.
Good to know.
Was a motorcycle.
Good to know.
Prime RC is just Chromia.
So, they took inspiration from another character? Yeah. I mean, media does that all the time.
Yeah, it does.
Combining
and Transformers
characters.
do it all the time.
Just combine characters.
Like Scorponok here turns into a city. Actually, yeah, turns into a city. He also turns into a giant scorpion.
Yeah.
And then later, the name Scorponok was used for Beast Wars Scorponok. And then eventually later in 2007 for the other
used for that one.
Yeah. So Transformers does this all the time.
They just reuse names.
They just reuse names, typically so they don't lose the trademark.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, I think it was 2 years ago, they got into a dispute with DC Comics over the name Bumblebee.
Oh.
Yeah, but I think that was finally...
Well, Bumblebee's a very generic
That's
term.
what they came to, yeah.
You can't copyright the word Bumblebee.
No, you can't.
Unless you, like, put a dash in it or something.
I can't remember who started the debacle, but it might have been DC. I can't remember.
That's a dumb debacle.
I was still in high school when this happened.
Wow. You're so old.
Yeah. I remember thinking that we could lose the name Bumblebee, but then probably not.
Yeah, I don't think you can, because if you're just using the generic word Bumblebee, you can't really copyright that, because that's a thing that exists.
Yeah.
It's not just a character.
We also got shots of the new Commander Class Skylynx, which is not quite as big as the Titan Class figures, which are about, like, 2 feet tall.
Okay.
Commander Class are just a little bit smaller, but he's an Autobot.
Big boy. He transforms into Dino Bird. And
he transforms into a space shuttle. But Skylynx also has like this big blue piece on his belly of the space shuttle. that like splits off and turns into a lion or something. I think it's a lion.
Okay.
Yeah, see, it turns into that, and then the top part that is the actual space shuttle turns into a dino bird.
That's
Yeah.
something.
Skylinks is a weird character.
I think there's a lot of those in Transformers.
His personality is basically, I'm fabulous and you can't change that.
Well, that's lovely.
I'm better than you.
Lovely.
That's Skylinks. I think that's everything we got today. We also got news about the War for Cybertron cartoon.
Okay.
That it is still, in fact, happening. And Earthrise is supposed to be the second arc for it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But this is the first news we've had on it in exactly a year.
Okay.
So it's good to have something. It's
good to have something.
It's still happening.
Just, you don't know if it's coming out this year or next year.
It should be coming out this year. That's what they said last year. We just haven't heard anything. They've probably been working on it. We'll probably get full-blown reviews. A trailer would not surprise me.
Okay.
If we got that
like
this
a
weekend.
teaser or something?
Teaser or something. I'm expecting something on the War for Cybertron cartoon.
Maybe even a thing that says, it's coming out next year.
Hopefully not that.
Hopefully not.
Yep.
But if you do.
Their current cartoon series is going into their third season. And they're introducing a bunch of new characters. Like brand new characters. Like Wild Wheel.
Yeah.
Which is basically a cowboy. From what I understand.
Ah, Big Iron.
Yeah. I kind of wish his name was Big Iron. That'd be cool.
Okay.
Kind of like Yeehaw Formers to me.
Yeehaw Formers. They all wear cowboy hats, and they transform into horses.
Something like that. I'm also looking forward to the Quintessons.
Okay.
Because Earthrise, we've got a listing a few weeks ago for a Voyager class Quintesson. And they've never made a Quintesson figure before.
So you're excited about that?
I'm psyched for that. And Snapdragon is a triple changer Decepticon who turns into a dinosaur and a whatever Jetfire turns into in Revenge of the Fallen.
SR-71 Blackbird.
Yeah, Blackbird, which is ironically white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. You want to hear what's going on some other fronts?
Yeah. Yeah.
Star Wars revealed some stuff today. Lego Star Wars. They revealed that in September, there's going to be a set based on The Mandalorian, specifically the Mandalorian ship that he flies around in called the Razor Crest. For $130,
oh boy.
you get to buy 1,023 pieces. In that you will get 5 minifigures. You'll get Grief Karga, Mandalorian, IG-11, a Scout Trooper, and Baby Yoda, or the child. And you build a really good-looking model of the Razor Crest. Like, oh my gosh. It's one of the best Lego Star Wars sets I've ever seen, actually.
Wow.
Like, even better than the Millennium Falcon that came out for Rise of Skywalker, in my opinion. That one's pretty cool.
What about the really big Millennium Falcon?
Well, to me, those are on 2 separate levels. Because one's called an Ultimate Collector Series and one's just regular Lego. I think it's going to be an Amazon exclusive, so that might be why you get such a good set. Because they made a Vader's Castle, and that's a really good set.
Wow.
And it was also an Amazon exclusive. So they revealed that today. Hasbro also revealed 2 Clone Wars figures for the Galaxy of Adventures line, which there are rumors that they were going to relaunch the old Clone Wars figure series, which I guess could still happen. Could still happen because these are just Galaxy of Adventures, but they wouldn't just reveal that already. I fully expect there to be a lot of Clone Wars stuff coming out. Like there's rumors for Lego Star Wars Clone Wars sets coming out. Like there's a leaked blurry image for General Grievous Starfighter.
Oh.
But they revealed an Ahsoka from Season 5 and a 332nd Legion Trooper, which is a 501st Trooper, but their helmet is painted up orange for Ahsoka. They look cool because they're in an animated art style, but other than that, it's more for it's a kids line. It's not like a collector's series. They also revealed this other kids line, 5-point articulation line, and I think it's all about like you buy a figure and it comes with like a jetpack or a vehicle or something. Like I saw there was a Stormtrooper and a Boba Fett with a jetpack, a Mandalorian with a speeder bike, Captain Rex with an ATRT.
Ooh.
All kinds of stuff.
I love ATRTs.
And then on the Marvel side, there was this week, it wasn't really a preview for Toy Fair. They revealed a Hulk figure for the Avengers game that's coming out this year, made by Square Enix. Outback Hulk. Which I feel like that's probably a story beat from the game, or just a skin.
Or he's teaming up with Outback.
Who's that? Oh, a Transformer character?
And a G.I. Joe.
Oh. Didn't know that. Cool.
Yeah.
That looks interesting. Oh, news for Marvel Legends fans. You'll get to vote for a Marvel Legend this year.
Ooh.
As a part of Toy Fair. I think it's going to be a female figure.
Hasbro did that years ago with Transformers.
Yeah, I think they're trying to do it with every line.
They're just finishing up their Transformers vote.
Really?
Yeah, like years ago they had a vote between Omega Supreme, Scorponok, and Trypticon, and they're just now getting a Scorponok after Trypticon won.
Oh,
they
gotcha.
Well, they put that out, and then they did Fortress Maximus, and then they did Trypticon, and then they did Omega Supreme. Oh, no, wait. No. They put that out, and then they did Devastator, and then Fort Max, and then Trypticon, and then Predaking, and then Omega Supreme, and then now they're finally getting to Scorponok.
So, they're making them all just in the order that got voted.
I think Metroplex is next, and I'm scared.
It looks like you're going to get a choice between 3 female figures, but that could just be 3 of the options that they're giving us. Other than that, I don't know what the characters are.
One of them kind of looks like Angela.
Yeah, but it also could be like Valkyrie or even like Valkyrie. No, it also looks like a Sith figure, but I was thinking it could be a Valkyrie figure.
True.
Because we haven't gotten one of those in a while. That's a comic book Valkyrie. Cool. I will definitely be casting a vote on that.
Cool.
It looks like you can either get... It looks like there's going to be a spider character, an Avengers character, and like a space character. So you'll get to choose.
Toy Fair is going to be fun.
Rumors of a vintage Spider-Man wave, which is really cool, because apparently there will be like a Peter Parker figure. Just a straight-up civilian figure. And I'm like, that's cool.
With a camera?
Probably. That would be cool. That's all there is really on the Marvel Legends front. I guess what I'm hoping to see, that Spider-Man vintage wave that was rumored. I hope that they come out with a Commander Rogers figure, which is like when Steve Rogers took over for S.H.I.E.L.D., because that outfit recently came back in the comics. And he uses like the digital shield, the photon shield.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool to get as a figure. Transparent shield. Transparent
Well,
plastic.
they made that figure a while back, but it was a piece of garbage. And the 3-inch version was better than the 6-inch version. Don't know how they managed to screw that up, but it came with the translucent shield.
Nice.
And I think that would be really cool if they do a redo, get a new Steve Rogers head sculpt. I know people were probably like, I want new characters, not just another Captain America. Well, they could make it like a fan channel exclusive.
I know what that's like. Generation Selects.
There's
fan
some...
Selects, something.
Oh, yeah. X-Men? We're going to get a Build-A-Figure revealed for an X-Men wave. Which is an Age of Apocalypse wave, which is characters from a wacky X-Men story.
Is it going to be Apocalypse?
We already got an Apocalypse, but
could it be another Apocalypse?
Probably, maybe. That's one of the options, I think. They're either thinking it's going to be Apocalypse, Holocaust, or like this other guy named like Sugar Man or something.
Onslaught?
We already got an Onslaught.
Me too.
Nice.
He's a torso.
Oh, a Transformer.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love Onslaught.
Gosh. Marvel Legends is cool.
Transformers currently did the Build-A-Figure thing.
Really?
Yeah, with their Cyberverse line.
Oh,
you
clever.
Yeah, they did. You build Macadam, which is a character nobody knows about. I barely know Macadam.
Oh, speaking of 80s cartoons, there was a leak this week. G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe, real American heroes. G.I. Joe. Yeah, they're going to be getting their own 6-inch action figure line. And
Can
this
I get a
week,
Yo Joe?
Yo Joe.
Cobra.
Okay, if you're confused on what we're referencing, go look up G.I. Joe, the movie intro.
Yes, do that.
It is one of the craziest 80s cartoon movies intros ever.
80s openings
you will
ever.
not be disappointed. It is intense. It's scary.
While you're at it, look up the end.
Action-packed. But G.I. Joe's coming back. And G.I. Joe's, I've never been like, G.I. Joe, yeah. Because I never watched the original cartoon. And the 2 movies that came out were trash.
Yeah.
The live-action movies.
Snake Eyes was the best part.
But they have really cool designs and characters, in my opinion.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe Renegades, the cartoon, was pretty cool.
I've heard that was good. I didn't watch a whole lot of it because I don't like it when they turn the G.I. Joe and basically into the A-Team.
That is what they did.
That is what they did.
But
what I've seen, it was good.
There's a leaked photo of like a New York Toy Fair exclusive Snake Eyes. And oh boy. Does that Snake Eyes look good?
It's Snake Eyes.
It's Snake Eyes.
It's Snake Eyes. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with a Timberwolf.
They released another press photo teasing the Classified series, which is what it's called. It's called G.I. Joe.
There's a Timberwolf.
It's probably coming with the regular release.
Epic.
Oh, I'm also excited. Power Rangers Lightning Collection.
Oh, yeah.
That's a cool line.
Yeah.
I'm behind on it, but I'm behind on all the toy lines I collect.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Do you try to collect the entire wave of toy lines, or
for Lightning Collection? Yes, because it's 4 figures in a wave.
True.
So it's fairly simple, and they only have a couple of exclusives here and there.
Yeah, I don't.
For Legends, mostly the ones I like.
Yeah, I can't.
Or like characters I'm attached to.
I can't get an entire Transformers line because they range from like $10 to $150.
Yeah.
They're
just get the ones you like.
That's what I do.
For Legends, they're starting to get a lot more rangy, like in price, because of like they're doing re-releasing and stuff.
Have they made a Galactus figure?
Not in a long time, no. That could be something that gets revealed.
Like big Galactus? Have they ever done like a big Galactus?
Yeah.
Oh.
Back when Toy Biz owned Marvel Legends, he was a Build-A-Figure, and Marvel Universe made a Galactus. Marvel Universe was Galactus. The 3 3/4. Yeah, a big Galactus.
Like 2 feet tall Galactus.
Not 2 feet tall because it was a 3 3/4 line.
Oh.
But it was in scale with them, and they reused the Sentinel from the 3 3/4 line for Marvel Legends, and it was pretty good.
That sounds like a HasLab project.
A Sentinel or Galactus?
Galactus. Like
if they want it to be huge, yeah.
A true massive
But
Galactus.
if they're just going to repack a Marvel Universe Galactus, nah, they can just repack it.
They're working on making a ginormous Unicron. I can see them wanting to make a Galactus in the future.
That's true. That's true. They haven't done a Marvel HasLab. They've done Transformers. They've done Star Wars. Weren't they going to do a Kermit the Frog?
They were going to do Cookie Monster.
Cookie Monster.
That didn't get backed, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had 2 unstoppable eating machines, and only one of them got made.
Yeah, I guess Cookie Monster was a lot more obscure. That's cool. G.I. Joe, I'm excited for that. Joe. Just because they have cool characters.
They've got
cool
a movie
designs.
coming out this year.
Yeah, Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes. I'm extremely worried for that movie.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be the Bumblebee movie of G.I. Joe, but it has even better chances of failing.
Lovely.
Because Bumblebee may have been Transformers that ultimately lost money because of the last night, but it's still Bumblebee, and Bumblebee is still quite the cultural icon. But you walk up to like random people you knew in high school, they probably have better chances of not knowing who Snake Eyes is.
Yeah. I feel bad for the live action G.I. Joe movies.
Yeah.
Because they both sucked. The second one killed off everybody except like 4 characters. So like
didn't like
now
The
you
Rock's
don't have
Roadblock.
any Joes.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. It's a shame
Yeah,
what
it
happened to that
is.
franchise.
I know you don't like this idea, but I really think G.I. Joe should be connected to Transformers.
Well, I like the idea. I just don't think it should be immediate.
Yeah.
Like, I think you got to do a Transformers movie first, and you got to do a G.I. Joe movie first.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, they could do Bumblebee and then do a G.I. Joe movie. Or something.
Well, they need, if they're going to go off like Bumblebee and combine it that way, they should do Bumblebee, G.I. Joe, Transformers, crossover.
Something. Yeah. Something.
Or at least another G.I. Joe movie, then a crossover.
Yeah.
Because then you got 2 Transformers movies and 2 G.I. Joe movies.
I know. I think there is some kind of plan to try and make a Hasbro cinematic universe between Transformers,
I've heard about
G.I.
that.
Joe, ROM is supposed to get a movie.
Space Knight?
Space Knight, yeah.
I don't know who that is, but I know that name.
I've heard talks of a Micronauts movie, a Mask
Wow, they're
movie.
really trying hard.
Yeah, they're trying hard.
Cinematic universes are all the rage nowadays.
Yeah, they are. And unfortunately, I think the only one that has any chances of working are Transformers. As of right
Transformers
now.
and G.I. Joe.
Transformers and G.I. Joe.
They're like Hasbro's 2 biggest like IP hits.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
G.I. Joe saved Hasbro. Literally saved Hasbro back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Transformers also did.
Good show to look into Transformers, Hasbro, Star Wars, lines like that. The Toys That Made Us on
Great show.
Netflix.
Great
documentary. Good show.
Good show. The Turtles episode is great.
Yeah, that one's good too.
I love the Turtles.
You get to hear about Lego. All kinds of great. Yeah, there's a Lego episode.
Oh yeah, I thought you said Leo funny.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who Leo is.
Leonardo.
The Ninja Turtle?
Yeah.
There's no new Ninja Turtle media coming out, which sucks.
They've
There
got-
was that Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I wasn't really a fan of the art style.
Yeah, they also made Raph the leader.
I think it's okay to change up stuff like that, but
Yeah.
they weren't really the Turtles.
Yeah. And unfortunately, what they did is they made Raph the leader, but he's still Raphael. And they made Leo into this punk kid that's like worse than Raphael.
Oh.
So they have no real leader. I guess Raph is supposed to grow into that or something. And then Splinter is basically reduced to this crazy old fat guy. And I don't like that.
I didn't know that much.
Yeah.
But
And
I knew the
April is
Ninja
this
Turtles.
annoying little black girl now.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with the fact that she's black.
Okay, you don't got to defend yourself. It's okay. I'm not accusing you.
Got you.
I was just thinking about it. Weird Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Ninja
show.
Turtles. I've heard that
Maybe it's good. We
Maybe.
just haven't watched it.
the
Maybe
comic
we're
books
just-
are really good. I read some of those.
Oh yeah, they do have comic books.
They were great. They were rated mature.
Okay.
And like, have you ever seen Raphael actually stab anybody?
Oh yeah, I just remember the original comic book was really
Intense.
yeah.
And they haven't gone that full intense, but they're allowed
Sorry
to
about the
stab
chair.
people now.
They're allowed to use their weapons.
They're allowed to use their weapons.
Okay, yeah.
Like there was
Makes
this one
sense.
chick who got stabbed through the chest.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Karai was just like,
Oh yeah, Karai's Shredder's daughter, right?
Shredder's currently in hell.
Oh, so they're real comic booky.
Shredder, like, just. I haven't read the Shredder in hell, but the whole idea is that he's supposed to be like fighting his way out of hell.
Oh, that's metal.
Shredder is intense in the comic book.
That's metal.
The Turtles got
I mean,
super
Shredder should be
intense.
metal anyway. He's got metal all over him. He's called Shredder. You know what that is? That's a Metallica song right there.
Yes.
Shredder! Oh, boy.
Watch out for Shredder.
All right.
I love the Turtles.
Any other thing you're looking forward to at Toy Fair? Any He-Man stuff?
Toy Fair. I don't know if there's any Toy Fair He-Man stuff. I read last year that they're supposed to be making a new toy line for He-Man.
Probably for the new animated series.
It was more of taking the original action figures and giving them more articulation. I saw pictures of it, and they looked exactly like the original toys. But instead of being stuck like this, they
Yeah.
can stand up straight.
Okay, so it's
looked-
like original toys, modern day technology.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
They looked beautiful.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't remember when that's happening, though, and I totally forgot the name of the line. But if I get the chance...
You might get news on that this weekend.
Maybe. If I get the chance, I'd like for my brother to end up with the Skeletor figure. Because Skeletor's his favorite He-Man character.
That's cool.
Yeah, he has a Funko Pop.
Skeletor.
He has a Skeletor Funko Pop,
They made He-Man Funko Pops?
apparently.
I'm not surprised, honestly. They make
Yeah.
Funko Pops of everything.
Yeah, I have a Tick.
The Tick?
The Tick.
Spoon.
Spoon. They never made an Arthur, though.
Is Arthur his sidekick?
Yes.
Okay.
But they never made an Arthur. They just made the Tick.
Sometimes that happens. Like it doesn't sell enough.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah.
That's why they canceled the show.
That's a shame. The Amazon show?
Mm-hmm. After 2 seasons, they were going to bring in Thacker Zog in the 3rd season, but each episode cost like $1 million to produce.
Yeah.
Or maybe more.
I hope that doesn't happen to the boys.
The boys did a lot better.
Okay.
A lot more successful of a show, more popular. But the plot of The Tick and The Boys is pretty much the same.
Oh.
Where like the government is making superheroes. Well, it's hinted at in The Tick. It's never fully
The Tick's
explored.
more of a comedy, right?
It was, and I think their problem was that they tried to make it a little too serious. It wasn't Tick enough. And like Tick was there, but he wasn't really that much of the main character. It was more about Arthur, when it really should have been about the Tick a little bit more. Like, his battle cry is Spoon.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really establish that. He just kind of does it at the end of the season. That's the only time he ever says Spoon. And I think in one of the early episodes of the 2nd season, he has some idea about a battle cry, but then he drops that idea until the very end of the last episode.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, when they could have made it a whole running gag throughout the entire season that he constantly is looking for a battle cry.
Is this the first live action adaptation of The Tick?
No, it's the 2nd.
Okay, yeah. It's only the 2nd one, so there's still room for improvement.
2nd live action adaptation. Yeah, the first one was not that great.
Didn't it have Tim Warburton? Patrick Warburton?
Patrick Warburton, yeah.
Didn't he play a Tick?
He was the Tick.
I can see that.
Yeah. Everyone who's played the Tick has done really well.
Hey!
Yeah. Townsend Coleman was the original Tick from the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
The cartoon is amazing. I love that cartoon. I think I like the Amazon live action series more than the other live action series. Because where the first live action series tried to take the cartoon and put it in real life.
Okay.
That never works.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Amazon one took the cartoon and vamped it.
Okay.
Revamped it pretty much into real life.
Excuse me.
Was I going somewhere with the Tick, or did I just get sidetracked?
I think you got sidetracked and you were rambling a little bit.
I'm sorry, I just really like the Tick.
That's okay. We talk about what we like on here.
The Tick.
Yeah. Anything else about Toy Fair?
Nope. Not that I can think of.
He-Man, Transformers, Marvel Legends, Lego,
G.I. Joe.
Star Wars.
I think we've hit all of my bases.
Yeah.
Hellboy's pretty dead right now because its movie sucked.
Yeah, that's true. And Hellboy only comes out with like premium collectible stuff.
Yeah, it does. I'm not sure what the current state of the comic books is either.
Well, the comic books ended, right?
Pretty sure, yeah. I heard that they finally wrapped up their 20-year-long story that started in 1994. One constant timeline.
That's impressive.
The beauties of owning your own property.
Give it up to Dark Horse.
Way to go, Dark Horse.
All right.
Mike Mignola's awesome.
Toy Fair starting today, this weekend in general.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to really kick off tomorrow.
Well,
Saturday.
Since it was... Oh, yeah. You're talking about how this is pre-recorded and technically... Saturday. Well, since technically today's Friday, today will be the first day, so we're dipping our toe in the water.
Yeah,
tomorrow
right.
we're just diving in.
Just diving in. Ooh, I can't wait.
I can't wait either. It's going to be fun.
Oh, you know what else happens today?
What? Clone Wars. Star Wars The Clone Wars, the final season releases today. Season 7, Episode 1.
The Bad Batch arc.
Is that the name of it?
I don't know that's the name
I know
of the
that's the
episode.
arc.
It's the arc.
But
still.
You know what? I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Yeah. I'm excited.
That's the first thing I'm doing after uploading this podcast is watching the
doing.
Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So yeah, Clone Wars. What do you want to see out of this season?
What do I want to see?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure. I'm kind of going into it just... This is overlapping with Revenge of the Sith, and I'm I want to see what that means.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll probably see where Rex and Ahsoka end up. So they're in Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Do you think there's potential for this, since it's intertwining with Revenge of the Sith, to get some post-Order 66 content? Like, it doesn't just end with Ahsoka and Rex escaping Order 66. Like, there's some stuff that goes on afterwards.
Maybe. We might. My working theory right now is that Ahsoka has her own battalion now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 300.
Is Rex part of that, too?
Yeah.
Rex joins
her own, like, little thing she leads is basically just Anakin giving her a part of the 501st. And he gives her Rex.
Okay.
Anakin takes Commander Appo and gives Ahsoka Rex.
Gotcha.
And, like, Rex doesn't paint his helmet up, but all those troopers have their helmet painted, like, with an orange Ahsoka design on it. And, like, other than that, their armor's it's a really cool design.
My active theory right now is that Order 66 is going to hit, and all of those orange painted clones are going to turn on Ahsoka and Rex. Because, at the end of the trailer, you see her standing on top of that table.
Yeah, I feel like
you've got the clone down there.
Rex might not... Well, that's Rex.
That's Rex, yeah. And she closes the door. I have a feeling that we could see some kind of horror vibe come out of the Order 66. Mm-hmm. It's like they're on the Venator ship or attack cruiser, and then all of a sudden, everything on that ship is out to get them.
Boom.
Yeah.
Get trapped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's going to be...
I feel like that's going to be the last few episodes.
If not the last few, or at least the last episode is Order 66.
Yeah. So I'm, if anything, looking forward to that.
That'll be fun, yeah. Especially the Bad Batch. That just looks like a fun war story in the Clone Wars.
Can we talk about the animation for a minute?
The animation. Look at the first thing released for this whole series. Star Wars The Clone Wars. The theatrical release movie. And look at it now. It's even better than the last season of Clone Wars we got, which was supposed to be the final season.
Disney money.
Disney money, for real.
Disney money, baby.
It looks so beautiful. I'm excited for it to end. What I expect out of this final season, a nice wrap-up.
Yeah.
Just a really nice wrap-up for all of it.
Clone Wars took the Disney money by the horns and used it correctly.
It's going to be bittersweet, though, because there could have been more episodes.
There's still going to be like 30-plus episodes going unfinished. One of them includes a Boba Fett arc, I think.
And shows how he gets the ding in the helmet.
It just shows how he becomes Boba Fett as we know him.
Pretty much.
Which I wanted to see.
Yeah. It's a shame, but, it's bittersweet. At least we get what we get.
Maybe we can finally go forward in the timeline.
Yeah. Instead of...
Hopefully.
Like, I love exploring the past, but it's also like, we've done that a lot.
We've done that a lot. We need to... And Clone Wars' story is pretty much told.
Yeah.
So, and Rebels takes place between New Hope and Revenge of the Sith. And there's not a whole lot to tell there.
No, it's just the Empire does bad things.
You can tell fun little stories. You can have your own D&D campaigns there.
Yeah.
Star Wars campaigns or something. But now what people are really hungry for is what happens after Return of the Jedi.
Exactly.
And The Mandalorian has given us that.
The Mandalorian's given us a taste.
A taste, exactly. Which is what I've figured out about The Mandalorian, why I think a lot of people like it, is because it's giving us everything we wanted.
Yeah.
From a certain point of view.
A post-Empire world.
A post-Empire world.
A truly post-Empire world.
That actually addresses the fact that it's a post-Empire world.
Yeah. No Star Destroyers.
No Star Destroyers. Well, there could be Star Destroyers.
Maybe. We haven't seen them. We've seen a TIE fighter, but other than that, like, until Moff Gideon shows up. Obviously, Moff Gideon's, well off.
I know.
Because he's got clean stormtroopers.
Yeah.
And he's got Death Troopers.
Exactly. And, in the Legends, there were still some Star Destroyers out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would make sense that there's still some Star Destroyers out there still. During The Mandalorian. And stuff. It's also giving us exploration into the Mandalorian culture and where Yoda's
It's not a race, it's a creed.
Still, it's a culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, culture. It's also giving us a glimpse into Yoda's species.
Yeah.
So we're getting... It's like a triple deal.
We're getting world-building material.
Exactly.
And it's also fun.
Yeah.
Like, there's only one episode of that season 1 that was like, eh.
Which one?
The Gunslinger. The one on Tatooine.
Oh, yeah. I can see that. Still fun.
Still fun.
A little nostalgic.
I like the swoop bikes.
Who directed that one?
Filoni.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
But it was all part of the, like, season 1 was all Western tropes. I feel like season 2 might be a little more risky.
Probably.
Because season 1 was all Western tropes. If they do that again, it'll just be like, well, we're watching the same thing over again.
Yeah. It'll be like a Western show that never goes anywhere.
If they follow up on it. If they follow up on each, like, storyline, you know? That'll be good payoff.
Do we know who was standing over the body?
Which body?
The sharpshooter. I can't remember her name. Mulan.
Yeah, Mulan.
Agent May.
Ming-Na Wen.
Yeah, yeah.
Moff Gideon.
Are we sure it's Moff Gideon?
A lot of people think that are like, I'm not going to go crazy because, like, you know, I'm not going to make a wild theory like I did for Snoke and get called out again. Yeah, but some people are like, that's Boba Fett.
I think there's a chance it's Boba Fett.
I think there's a chance, but I don't know if Filoni or anybody like Filoni and Favreau want to bring him back.
Yeah.
If they do, and they do it well, very cool. It could be another character that was mentioned in a book that apparently might have Boba Fett's armor. But,
Jodocast.
Not Jodocast. He was mentioned in one of the Aftermath books.
Still.
But who knows? Up to is either Moff Gideon or someone else we don't know. I'm looking forward to the follow-up on the gang episode.
Oh, yeah.
That was cool.
Wait, that's the one where they go to the prison, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the actor's name.
All those dudes were like Star Wars role-playing game characters.
Yeah, Mayfield. What's his guy's name? The guy who played him.
Mayfield?
Yeah, the bald guy.
I can't remember his name.
Funny guy. Bill Burr.
Yeah.
The funny thing about Bill Burr is he just does not care about Star Wars.
He doesn't?
No. That's why Favreau said, hey, you want to be in it? Bill Burr was like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
I make Star Wars fans mad. And Jon Favreau was like, yeah, it'd be funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And he played one of the funniest characters.
Yeah.
He mentioned a gun and he's like, you said don't want to take your helmet off? It's funny. Mando was good.
What did he think about being in it?
He thought it was cool.
Wow.
Because, Disney money.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And he got to get an up-close look at everything. But yeah, Clone Wars is back for one final run.
Back, boy.
Weekly.
Back.
Do you think they're going to keep the 22, 23-minute episode, or do you think they'll go longer?
I'm not sure. I haven't thought about that. I just know that it won't be 11
You think
minutes.
they'll be like Mando, where they vary in length? Because Mando was like a 36 to 40-minute show.
Maybe. I'm really not sure.
I'm not sure either. I hope, they keep what makes the Clone Wars. But, maybe make it a little better.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it'll be 22, 23-minute episodes because they already had these plotted out.
Yeah,
so.
That's what I'm thinking. That's also standard for cartoon.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. My hype levels are like over 9,000.
Hype levels are like shooting through the roof, man. That was you.
That's me? That's
Right
how
now.
I sounded?
Kind of. Pretty much.
Late at night.
It's the energy you gave off in that sentence just there.
My hype levels
Are off the
just...
charts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Sorry, I just woke up. Yeah. Clone Wars comes out today.
Comes out today, boys.
That all your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't have a lot to think about Clone Wars.
Cool.
Clone Wars is happening and it's ending.
Okay.
It'll be the end of the Skywalker saga.
The real end.
The real ending.
Because it actually has a Skywalker in it. All right, you ready to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I hope so.
No matter what time you may be watching, I'll cover it all, guys. Just like the end of the last one.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning. Oh, shoot.
Oh, no.
Shoot.
Hold on.
I feel like I messed it up. Did I not?
No, I don't think
all right,
so.
Cool. Let's actually wrap it up.
Yeah.
Second try. Good morning, good evening, good night, and goodbye for now.
And you can shine no matter what you're made of.
Heck yeah, Big Weld. This has been Two Dudes and a Podcast. hosted by Jackson Ham and Brandon Reynolds. Produced by Jackson Ham, and photography by Dalton Sherrill.